Hi, I'm Carrie, and the book I'm going to be talking about is As Cruel as Anyone Else by Angelo del Boca, which is a history of atrocities committed by Italians and the Italian state from roughly the middle of the 19th century up until the end of World War II. Del Boca is a leading Italian historian, passed away in 2021. This book was written in 2005. It reads like a series of magazine articles. Each chapter highlights a different part of Italian history where its so-called status as a civilization was revealed to be something much crueler, going from the war that united Italy in the mid-19th century, all the way up to the violent clashes towards the end of World War II between anti-fascists, mostly communists, against the Republic of Salo, which was the last bastion of Italian fascists in the north of Italy. And in between, Del Boca shows us the cruelties behind the Italian wars of colonization in Somaliland, it was then called, Ethiopia, and Libya, where Italians, like other colonizers, were quick to use violence, massacres, deportations, all the cruel tricks of the colonizers' trade to pacify their colonies, which were never truly colonies in the sense of Italians moving out there to farm or to occupy. They were mostly attempts to catch up with the other European powers in terms of presenting Italy as one of the leading countries of Europe, and just like the others, the British, the German, the French, it should have its place in the sun south of the Mediterranean. There is nothing out of the ordinary, nothing we haven't heard about before in other contexts and locales about that. Some things that are particularly interesting in this book is the story of General Cadorna, I think I've got that right, who was the Italian commander-in-chief during World War I and was one of the worst and most bloodthirsty commanders that war saw. He used his men like raw material, just as much as was happening on the Western Front. Italy's war was fought against the Austrians in the Alps, and he threw away men like they were nothing. He was cruel to Italian troops. He had many shot for desertion, and the Italian war dead numbered nearly 600,000. It's quite a shocking and illuminating chapter. The other interesting part of the book is that he argues that since World War II, the Italian myth, their own created myth, is that of a easygoing, likable, non-violent sort of country and a national character. And if I was to, he doesn't mention this, but imagine, if you will, the country being represented mostly by the character of the actor Marcello Mastroianni in his film roles. Easygoing, sensual, loving life, not taking anything too seriously. That would be the attitude, that would be what the Italian national myth was. And Del Boca argues that kind of that presentation of what the Italian character was and what the Italian man was essentially a cover-up for over 100 years of violence, whether it was the violence from World War I, colonial violence. And he points out that the Italian state remained very sensitive to this history, shown by, in the 90s, I think, there was a film financed but in Libya, to show the liberation of, show the war that the Italians fought against resistance in Libya in the 20s, I believe, in the 30s. And it was banned in Italy well up until the 1990s and just could not be shown. It starred Anthony Quinn and Oliver Reed. I actually saw it in the theater once. It's not very good, but it was regarded as offensive to the nation, or at least offensive to the army. That's how sensitive the Italian state was to its own history. But anyway, it's an interesting read if you are interested in the history of colonial powers or of Italy. The only thing I'd mark against it, I'd say, is sometimes it either hasn't been edited well or translated well. There's some rough patches, but other than that, if this is in your field of interest, give it a look. Plug my own book, and there's a lot of violence in this one. The Skeleton Palms, a noir thriller set in California and Nevada, and actually right now California is experiencing horrendous wildfires, and that features largely in my novel, as a matter of fact. So that's it. See you next time.